My allergies are kicking my ass. So if I have to stop and blow my nose, nobody wants to see that. I will just turn off my video, do what I gotta mute myself, do what I gotta do, and get back to the scheduled program. But fair warning, we're rocking the TP instead of tissues today. So if you see me pull out a roll of toilet paper, that's what's going on. Anyway, I'm really excited to talk to you about this, but I also want to tread with a lot of sensitivity for today's topic. I don't I felt weird like coming on here because I've been asked by a few people, like, what did you do? What do you recommend? Like, since announcing that we're pregnant again. And I didn't want it to be like I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna be like, I'm the formative expert on this. Like I felt a little bit, I don't know, too full of myself doing that. And I feel like I coach you guys through that, that imposter syndrome and feeling that way. So today, none of this is going to be like, I am the end all be all. I know how to do everything. Let's fix all. Everybody's body is so different. So if you're watching this from the perspective of you're just curious, if you're watching this from a place of trying to conceive, whatever the case may be, as I always say, I want this to encourage us to have separate private conversations that have to do with your specific situation. I'm here for you guys. These calls are never meant to be a one size fits all. If you've been with me long enough now, I'm kind of against the concept of a one size fits all. So I'm going to talk about my own experience, what I noticed, and I don't want anybody to think it's by any means like you must do all of this or that I'm telling you that I know your whole story, right? We can still talk one on one about it. Okay. That being said, any and all questions today, there's nothing off limits, like at all. Um, Feel free to say it in the chat if you want to keep it anonymous. I will do my absolute best with my ADHD to see that it says privately sent to me and not just say your name. I've done that before. I will not do that today. So let's get into it. Now, I want, that being said, I felt like I didn't want anybody to feel betrayed almost. Like I can't even explain it. It's like I've related to people who have struggled with the idea of getting pregnant for so long that it feels weird being like, I'm pregnant. Let's talk about it. But when it comes to all of our bodies being different, there will be the person who has, random one night stand and gets knocked up. They made a whole movie about it, right? And then there will be the people that sit there and they got the pee sticks out and they're like, mapping everything out every single day for months on end. Every single one of our journeys is different. For me, I really wanted to focus on once I, decided that my body was able to carry, because for the longest time, I was told I wasn't allowed, quote unquote, to like conceive and carry naturally. Those of you who have been following for a while, if you remember, we were looking into surrogacy. We did so much research when it came to adoption and formed different opinions about that. Like we even got to a point where we're like, maybe children aren't in the cards. And a lot of that had to do with type 1 diabetic. And not that that's the end all be all. Plenty of diabetics have kids, which I used to think was like a death sentence, wishing diabetes on someone. And I needed to go through my own therapy for that, but a lot of it is also just my spine and my connective tissue disorder that I have. It was, I'm definitely a higher risk patient, I should say. And for a while, my arthritis was so bad, my connective tissue disease was so bad that it was like doctors were like, I don't think your body could handle a pregnancy, like literally having, carrying. So getting to the point of focusing on my reducing my inflammation, reducing my stress, getting my blood sugars under control, that all took about what you're seeing now with us being like, yay, we're pregnant, probably a good 9-year journey of trying to get to a place where that's even possible. So keep that in mind. I really focused deep down on through everything, child, no child, whatever route we were going. I knew that I needed to be the strong foundation. So I did everything I could to just kind of make my body the best place it could be for me to live in, because it could only suit a child better that way if that was where our path led. you know? So let's see what I wrote here. It's not a promise or a competition. I think that a lot of times, going back to what I was saying about like I didn't want anyone to feel like betrayed, because now I'm not like coming from that side of the fertility journey, right? Is that I didn't want anyone to feel like this is promised to me either. All of this stuff I'm saying, I don't know that something doesn't happen. I mean, I've had 2 losses already, right? But is there a particular point where things become real where I could talk on it? No. This is my journey. Your journey is completely different. Okay. So, that being said, I want you to think of your body. If your body is very sensitive, the best thing you could do to strengthen that foundation and to get your body a really good place to be is to try and cater to it. It's the hardest thing. Like, I make that sound so nonchalant, but that's why we're all here. We're all trying to learn how the hell to do that, right? So your body is going to react to things a lot differently than, let's say, somebody who doesn't have these issues, or somebody that, is extremely fertile, because genetically there are lots of people like that, you know, but a lot of us who have been struggling, with fertility and stuff, we're just not that way. With like everything, some people can eat a piece of bread and be fine. Go figure. So, um, what else did I write here before I actually got to the point? Because I rambled so much in my notes, in case you can't tell. Um, the most important thing, and I feel like this is such a cheap thing to say, but the most important thing, oh God, I don't want to diminish anyone's struggle by saying this, but is mindset, right? Mindset. Don't do things from this fake safe place of, well, it probably won't happen anyway. Don't do that. That is the worst thing you can do. It's like going to play a game and like going to play it knowing you're going to lose. Like, who would play well? This goes back to the mindset video I did a couple of weeks ago. I think it was like how to attract the things you want. And I know, and I feel so like I don't want you to think I am diminishing your whole struggle to like, you have to be positive. But again, you have to have a I can fucking do this mindset to like do anything difficult, right? It's not going to be like, well, hopefully it falls from the sky. When has that been in the cards for us up until this point? So it's important to have that mindset of like, there is no definitive like that's it. It hasn't happened yet, so it can't happen. That thought, like, I had to let go of that completely. No matter what happens, no matter how upsetting what happens is, no matter what the path is, the relinquishing control to the path, especially as someone with OCD, very difficult to do, but that was really a huge mindset shift. I have no idea what the hell this path was going to look like. Right. So, Becca is saying that helps with the stress level too. Absolutely. It creates a lot less pressure, you know? So let's get into it. All right. Number 1, the foundation. This was something really difficult for me. And I think a lot of you guys, when you work with me, you're expecting me to tell you, or with your coach, you're expecting us to tell you to cut all this food out, to stop eating a lot of different things and everything. But to be honest with you, the best thing you can do, feed your damn body all throughout the day. Again, we have sensitive bodies, so we want all the conditions for our body to be operating optimal, right? So optimally, I don't know why I didn't finish that word. So that being said, it ain't going to function optimally if it's got like half the amount of calories it needs to function regularly. And here you are asking a lot of it. You're asking your body for a regular cycle, for ovulatory cycle, for fertilization. Like these are big asks. You got big ask. And you gotta support that big ask with some good food. So yeah, I'm trying to make it sound like ass. I don't know. Anyway, you gotta feed. You need nutrients. Big asks, big energy. Absolutely. Okay. So eating throughout the day. Now you might be like, but what do I eat? Not being so nitty gritty. Like, the thing I also had to realize was I still had a lot of body issues to work through when I started trying to get pregnant. the idea of maintaining was a lot more ingrained in my brain than I thought it was. The idea of like, again, like us all, I have a sensitive friggin' body. So taking more progesterone, right? Eating more throughout the day, all these things, having to adjust my thyroid to find the optimal range that it had to be in while I'm trying to conceive. At no point all that could I be concerned with if I look a little pudgier than usual. And I didn't expect that to be still a struggle until it was. And my body just changed. I felt like I aged overnight, like all these things that I had to deal with and process, right? But that being said, it was a non negotiable protein throughout the day, fat throughout the day, fiber when I can get it, nutrient dense foods throughout the day. I'm not trying to have some weak ass system when I'm trying to have a baby, right? I want this strong, well nourished friggin' place for this baby to thrive in. So for me, that meant I got to get used to eating again. And you saw it throughout when I was posting a lot more of the what I eat in a day, a lot of the same stuff, a lot of varied, similar stuff. Some days were not easy where I couldn't really eat much and I had food aversions. I just did the best that I could. I didn't get nitty gritty about like, oh, I can't have too many carbs or oh, I can't have too many that I thought about, am I getting enough protein? And when I say enough, I mean every time I ate, I had to have protein. Am I eating throughout the day, not going more than a few hours without eating something? Hugely important. And lastly, this is a fake Stanley. We've gone over this, right? So hydration. I have a bunch of ADHD friendly tips for hydration because I'm not naturally good at drinking a lot. Like I really actually suck at it. So if you need me to run down my steps for staying hydrated, message me or I can send it in the chat or something. Okay. So eating protein with each meal, not going a few hours without not eating. And again, you don't have to be 100% perfect. We're human. You're not completely fucking your chances over because you don't hit it every single day, you know? And then staying hydrated is really, really important. Why are these things important? This is the foundation of the cells in which your body is made of. You know, this is the very basic, oh my God, very basics of it all. Right. So when we're babies, right, what do we focus on? We make sure kids are fed, they're nourished, right? That shouldn't, we got big asks. You got to back those big asks up. So you got to make sure you're fed. That being said, you know, I'm not a supplement person, but I did utilize some supplements here. Nick also got a full awkward workup at the doctor, wanted to make sure we were operating with, you know, no variables that have gone unforeseen. So we, you know, Nick had to supply a sample if you catch my drift, and they tested that. They made sure everything was okay. They actually prescribed him a supplement. It was pricey. It sucks, but it's actually from the makers of Ovasitol. So Theralogics is the brand. You can find coupons online. I like suck with the whole affiliates thing. So I do not have a code for you. I'm sorry. I should probably find one for you guys, but you can find a coupon code online. I just recommend stuff. I don't make money off of it. So Nick yells at me for it all the time. But Theralogics, it's called Conception XR, and it's a supplement that Nick took. And it helps with motility. It helps with the actual like foundation and shape of it, you know, of the little guys and everything. It will definitely cause some heightened sensitivity for the men. I'm just saying, expect that. And I guess that's what we want because hey, I'm knocked up. All right. So anyway, get a coupon. It's called Conception XR. It's really great stuff. I've looked it up. Like I'm the first one to tell you guys if there's like a cheaper alternative. Even for Ovasitol, I'll suggest like D-Chiro and the inositol. But Conception XR is like it's expensive for a reason. So I would definitely suggest that. Supplements I took. Let's start with one I've been getting a lot of questions about. So progesterone lotion. I actually really like this stuff. It doesn't have a smell, right? And one pump is like it just has a little stopper, which I really oddly appreciate, so it doesn't get that weird crusty. And it's just one pump is a daily dose. I think, what is this? 2,000 milligrams of transdermal, so right through your skin, progesterone lotion. It's derived from yams. It's bioavailable. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if this is woo woo, right? I don't know if this is psychosomatic, if I just imagined it. But what I'm telling you is I started using this and I had the most regular cycles within 2 months of using it. And I like it was like notable. Like I'm pretty conservative. Like I said, I'm not a supplement girl. Like I'm not someone who's gonna be pushing a lot of stuff on you guys. I don't use a lot of stuff. This lotion's great. Rub it in. I actually spray my perfume over it because lotion skin holds on to scent better. You want to vary where you put it on. So like I'll put on my wrist one day, or I'll put on my belly, or I'll put on my thigh. You want to put this on every day except the days that you are bleeding, like on your period. Once you get your period, stop it. If you're like really regular and you know your period's coming, you can stop like the day prior. Basically, when you start your period, it a drop off in progesterone is what cues up your period. So you kind of want to go along with that natural process. I just got so nauseous. Hold on. Okay, we're good. I talk too fast. So use this in the morning, one pump of it. I will link this in the video on the page. I don't know if it's any better than the other ones out there. I looked for some reviews where people said that their cycles became more regular really quickly, and I was like, that sounds good, and I bought it. So maybe there's a better one. I'll send you the one that I use. We got Ashley on here too, by the way. I'm out of them, so I can't show you the packets, but I honestly think taking magnesium at night, and it's from the brand Jigsaw, and it's like Nick is like, we need to order more. He loves it. He literally loves it. And he's even less of a supplement person than I am. We adore it. So I 10 out of 10 recommend. It is so good. I love it. But they're, what is it? Mag Soothe, I think it is, from Jigsaw. Ashley, if you want to link it. But I can't recommend it enough. And it tastes really good too. It's like, what was it? It's like a raspberry lemonade, and it's like you just make it like a little shot, and it's a little fizzy. Big fan. We drink that every night typically when we have it. So we got my lotion. Okay, this was a pain in the ass to take every day. The CoQ10. CoQ10 is great. It's a very, very strong antioxidant. So again, it's helping create a really nice, strong, thriving environment for any company. It helps you with egg quality. It helps with the whole process, making sure that, it reduces inflammation as well. CoQ10 has tons of great uses. I'm a big advocate of CoQ10 in general, especially if you have thyroid issues, and especially if you're on thyroid medication for thyroid issues. CoQ10, big one. I did 200 milligrams 3 times a day. Nick did the same thing. He took these as well. We remembered like 85% of the time, if I'm being honest. A lot of days there's probably like 2. I'm just being honest. This huge ass name, it's like N-acetyl L-cysteine, NAC. Just NAC. This is also another really great antioxidant. It's also a great nutrient. It helps a lot. I love it. That's just good in general, especially for thyroid issues, any kind of adrenal issues as well. And then last but not least, my little prenatals. And again, could there be better prenatals out there? Sure. Do I love a gummy? Yeah, I'm going to take it if it's a gummy because I'm excited to have it because I love gummies. So that's really it for me. This has folate in it, a folic acid, and DHA, which is what you look for in a prenatal vitamin. And I love it. Tastes really good. Doctor said it's fine. So, okay. So those are, let's see, what else am I forgetting thing? Okay. Oh, also spearmint tea at night. Spearmint tea at night. I noticed I didn't drink it as much during my period, but during rest of the month, I have at least 2 cups every single night. It helps a lot with excess androgens. And if you have PCOS, excess androgens are going to mess up your ovulation cycle. So you really want to be able to manage those. And spearmint's a really nice, gentle, but effective way to do that. It's been studied. I love the taste of spearmint. So I actually like to mix some sugar-free hot cocoa in it. If you see when I post the what I eat in a day, and I put my spearmint hot chocolate, that's what I made it. Those of you who came to the retreat got to try my spearmint hot chocolate. I'm obsessed with it. Love it. Have it every single night when I can stomach it lately. Okay. So here's the part. So that's what you can add. Here's the part that's not fun. All right. So vaping, cigarettes, whatever. Nicotine is shown to affect egg quality. I am not a like prudish, straight edge, like I'm not going to be the one who judges you. I don't give a shit. You know, like this it's everybody's own life. I'm not here to judge you. Right. That being said, and I hate telling people what, if you can't tell by now, I hate actually just telling people what to do. But in October, I was still vaping and I was trying to cut back on my nicotine use. And we went through our loss. I'm not saying that it's connected to this, because listen, there's like literally pictures of Jackie Kennedy like chain smoking cigarettes, like hella pregnant, about to drop. So I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. However, it definitely gave me a bigger push to want to go completely nicotine free, because nicotine affects egg quality, and a lot of early losses, miscarriages, chemical pregnancies, a lot of times it's because of a non-viable embryo. And that a lot of times starts with, especially if you get sperm testing done, could be egg quality issues. So, and I'm 34. You know, I've been in some way relying on nicotine since I was 15. So, you know, yeah, okay, vaping, I guess you're gonna be better. And then cigarettes, who the hell knows, if we're being completely honest. But I mean, it was time to cut, you know? So what I did was in October, and because I have this kind of a setup, I was able to get juice, like vape juice, that I cut back the nicotine milligrams until I got to 0. And once I got over the nicotine habit, it was just the like hand to mouth. And sometimes if I'm like especially stressed, I still like, there's no batteries in here. There's no juice in here. It's like it's a phantom vape, but I can press the button. I don't know if it's the tism. I don't know what it is, but it really helps me with just in general with the stress. So that's my thing. It's up to you what you want to do. I'm not judging you. I just, even without the nicotine, I don't need to be inhaling propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin and some flavor, you know? So here we are. I wish I could be. I miss it, which is probably why it's good that I stopped, but you know, whatever. Alcohol. Now, you might be thinking, because I definitely did, how many like drunken one night stand babies have happened as a result? How many we went out, we had some wine at dinner, we went home when we were in the mood. Okay. Again, our bodies are sensitive. I'm coming from the place of I'm trying to get rid of as many variables as possible. I'm trying to create an atmosphere where truly as much shit as possible can thrive. And I don't mean to call my child shit. Like, what was that I just said? My jersey slipped. We call everything shit, but sorry, kid. You know what I mean, right? Okay. So try not to drink. Alcohol in all actuality is technically a toxin that our body processes out through our liver, you know? So, and it does cause inflammation, and inflammation causes more hormone upset. More hormone upset causes less strong ovulation periods. So, if you are a regular drinker, you know, social drinker, whatever, try to swap out some mocktails. Even if you cut back a little bit, you know, where you have it just the weekends or whatever, just any little bit is going to be a boost to your body and help it out. So you know me, I don't like telling people what to do. I don't think it's effective to just tell people what to do. But I definitely watched the alcohol consumption. All right. And I'm not saying I didn't have like any at all, but I'm saying it was like once every 2 months, not like my usual, like on weekends kind of thing. Um, and I said this before, feed your body vitamins through food. That is really, if you saw over the last couple months, the amount of vegetables that I kicked up in my day-to-day meals is really helpful. Are a lot of nutrients that are really that help support what you need. And that is, again, you want some bountiful ass body ready for this kid. You don't want like half potential, half fast eating, whatever I can get, like on the fly. I forgot I haven't eaten since 6 hours ago. Like you want nutrients. Okay. All right. Here's something fun to add in, but it's like a nuanced topic, okay? You need to have a lot of sex. You need to get that thing. That's it. We get like a couple days out of the month where our body releases an egg and there better be sperm there ready for it, right? Now here's the thing. You might have heard like, oh, sperm lives in the body up to 6 days. So as long as we have sex within 6 days, our bodies are more sensitive. We want to create the most ideal atmosphere. Every day that sperm is not fresh, it diminishes in quality and it diminishes in the percentage of amount of sperm that can make it to the egg. So technically, does sperm live in the body and could it still benefit you if you're several days out? Sure. But if you're struggling with fertility and you're struggling to get pregnant, upping your chances of having that fresh stuff, like that's going to help you. That's not always easy. We have hormonal sex drive issues, we have trauma, we have schedules, work schedules, exhaustion, symptoms, dryness, lack of interest. Like there's so much that goes into it, but figuring that out where you can just like get it done, once a day, when you're not on your period, minimum every other day, ideally every day. I know that sounds like antiquated and really a lot, but again, we did this shit for 8 months. Are you kidding me? I never have to take glucosamine for these knees again, you know? So just figure it out, make it happen. Think about it. I know it turns a little utility. It's not going to be that like you're tearing each other's clothes off kind of that's just not the case anyway, unless it's a movie. So like, it's not reality, So you really just got to look at each other and be like, we're on a mission. And again, this is one of those parts of the conversation where text me. It's like, it's very specific. There are issues with this. I'm not expecting you to hear this Zoom and be like, why haven't I had sex with my partner more? Like I get it. So definitely text me. We can work out any issues that have been happening in that department. Privately, can you link the progesterone cream? I sure can. I will put that in the link to this. Or you know what? I'll just link it in the chat after this is done. Let me tell you, the progesterone cream, like, that being said, we're talking about ovulatory periods, right? There's a few things to look out for to make sure, like, what did I write? Okay, number 5, focus on getting your ovulation to be more pronounced. This I'm sorry if you hear Sammy snoring right next to the computer, by the way. He's so loud. Although I think we went over this. It cancels out the noise. Just know he is going off next to the computer. Anyway, this cream gave me extremely pronounced ovulation periods. And what I mean by that, the breeze could go the wrong way. And I'm like, hey, it's 1:30. What are you doing? We work together from home, so it helped. I'm just saying that's privilege there. But this definitely, like, it was obvious. My body temp was different. I could feel like the little tinge of like an egg released, the mood, eat your Wheaties, and also lastly, the least sexy thing I'm going to say in this entire Zoom, but a very important thing to look out for: cervical mucus. What a horrible term. Like, it needs to be said though. Our body produces cervical mucus as a means to help the sperm get to where it's got to go, right? So if you notice that certain times in the month you got some weird stuff, weird deposits in those undies where it's like egg white consistency, stretchy, clear, translucent. I hope no one's partners are listening right now, right? I don't think the men could take it. But cervical mucus that looks like that, that is extremely fertile. That's what you want to look out for. There are some people who do not release a lot of it. I'm not like, so if that is you, that doesn't mean all hope is lost, right? We can find other ways to test your hormones throughout the month, right? There's like the P test, the P strips and stuff, but cervical mucus, don't just disregard it as annoying discharge. Really start paying attention to it. Once you get to the point where it's more cloudy, it's more like so gross, creamy, that means the ovulation window has closed, and that's when your body is starting to rid cells and like get ready for the next phase of your period, or phase of your cycle, I should say. So either fertilized egg or period. So gross, but cervical mucus helps. If you're having an issue with cervical mucus, you could also try taking Mucinex. Mucinex helps with that because it helps with mucus, right? So the only thing with that, if you have any insulin resistance, diabetes, anything like that, make sure you get diabetes friendly Mucinex. They do make it, and it will have less of an impact on your blood sugars. I don't know if I had these issues I have now when I was 24 and trying to conceive, but we had sex every day for a month and I was pregnant. There's truth in that. And hey, there were plenty of months, amen, Susan, but also there were plenty of months where we had sex every single day and not a line to be seen on that test, you know? But I'll tell you what, when my period came like clockwork, I was a lot less disappointed because I said to myself, okay, that is a solid cycle. That's a solid period. It's getting more, I can bet on that more. You know what I mean? So throw out the idea like, we're just going to have sex every day when I'm not on my period until this happens. That's what I said to myself. It still took us about 9 months, you know, with 2 other losses. So lots of sex. Lots of sex. I should have let Kenny listen to that part. He has no kids and may be glad after he hear what our bodies do. It's not hot. It's not hot for us either. You know, I know we're supposed to totally be okay with like biology and bodily functions, but like, can't we be a little grossed out, you know? Like, I don't think period blood is beautiful. Like, I don't understand that movement. I don't know. Maybe it's the diabetic in me that's looked at blood my whole life that I'm just like, I'd really prefer to keep that under wraps. You know, like just anyway. Just wait until the mucus plug. Another one that I'm like, we couldn't come up with a more flattering name. We're out here calling vaginas cookies, and we can't think of a more flattering name than mucus plug. Where were the Pinterest girls on that one? I don't know. I'm elated to be pregnant and I am grossed out. Like I'm not looking forward to the amount of biology I'll be witnessing, as cool as it is and all. It's still pretty National Geographic, and like my OCD is like, this is crazy, you know? It's a mixed bag. It's not just like so elated for baby. I'm like, what is happening with my body? This is foreign. So all of you watching or trying to conceive, get ready for that shit because it is a wild ride. A whole new body to get to know. You will miss being pregnant once the baby comes. I did. You know what? There's a scientific reason for that. Oxytocin. The oxytocin you release once you are delivering and then afterwards, it actually makes you forget a lot of like the pain and the awful things that you went through. I'm not saying this happens to everybody. There are plenty of people that are like, we're good, we're done. But oxytocin's meant to make you forget how awful it was, so you do it again. Little bit of biology and human race is trying to populate, let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Thank you for linking the lotion, Alexis. Awesome. NAC totally smells like burnt rubber. I just down the hatchet. These are kind of, if you can find smaller ones than these aren't fun. These are smaller. The CoQ10, considering you have to take like 3 a day, or I did at least. And then the rest are gummies, so yay. I want to smell this now. Wait a second. No smell. No smell. My God, look how swollen my lips are from blowing my nose. I just realized that. I did not get filler done while pregnant, I promise. It's so tempting, but I didn't. Thank you for linking the magnesium. I love it. I love it. Love it. How do you remember to take all of the things? I attach a routine to a routine as much as possible. And that is why I would forget with the CoQ10, because these I had to take throughout the day. So what I do is I set my alarm earlier than I have to wake up. I have the ability to take my meds and then go back to sleep, and I just fall back asleep. So I have it in like a little case next to my bed. Take my thyroid, go back to sleep, let that do its thing. And then when I wake up, I take my morning supplement. So I wash my face with my Averiglow. I use my progesterone lotion. Then when I come out here, I take my morning CoQ10, my morning this. I have to eat something or I will vomit. So I do that. So I basically try to attach all of this to the morning time. Then the midday CoQ10s are usually the one I would forget. And then I would attach my evening CoQ10 to dinner. So I would have that. And then I didn't have any. And then the magnesium I would just make before bed. So everything was pretty much attached to other routines that I was doing, except the ones that I would forget. Love that the lotion, you love the lotion. It's so great. Yeah, we got big asks, everybody. Big ask energy. Let's see what you guys are saying. Someone sent something to me privately. Aw, you took notes. Thank you so much. So we have notes from today's call. I will absolutely share. Thank you so much. You and Nick will remain in my prayers for a happy, healthy baby. Congratulations. I'm signing off tonight. Bye, Susan. I also just saw a reel that says when we are in a certain part of our cycle and don't get pregnant, everything our partner does is annoying because we are subconsciously rejecting them for not impregnating us. Like, how rude, right? But gotta love it. I love that take on it. But yeah, no, I think that it's also such a big drop off a lot of times, because especially if you have a strong ovulatory period, and like so many things can affect what happens with the damn egg. And if it gets, if it gets impregnated, I'm trying to think of a more fun word. Whatever, brain shot. The wit is done for the evening. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh, like the stronger your ovulatory period is, sometimes the stronger the drop off is with emotions like right afterwards. And that can be sometimes where that comes in, where like them breathing pisses you off, you know? They're just the closest ones to you. So, alrighty. Do I have anything else here for you guys? No, if you guys have any questions or anything, I ran through my spiel. This is all the stuff I did. I focused on making my body a thriving place, eating regularly, having high quality things. I hate the term clean because I definitely eat processed foods. I'm all about it. I'm all about canned foods. They help. I have ADHD. I cannot be responsible for always cooking fresh. This is we all have dreams of a homestead. It ain't happening here, you know? So I do what I can to get the nutrients in. Try your best to just make your body a happy, healthy, nutrient dense place to be as much as possible. Have that attitude. I know it's going to be so cheesy, but have that like can do attitude, because what the hell else are we going to have? A oh shucks attitude and waiting for it to surprise us? You've heard me say this before. Usually the thing we want surprising us like is not the reason our mindset changes. Typically our mindset has to change to allow all the things that we want to happen. So that combined with bang a lot more, have a lot more sex, text me for specifics, text me if you're like I want to have more sex but we just can't. I am here for you. I will not judge you. I will be as helpful as I can be throughout this whole process. So I hope that this helped. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your night and let me know if you need any more support. So, bye.